Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are currently doing a bunch of repairs. We need to get a lot of repairs done here. They're all pretty minor, really, other than this rifleman, which is a bigger overhaul. But that's a low priority thing. That's a backup mech. So that's absolutely fine for now. Let's tick forward for the moment. And I want to get back most of our mech warriors, which are back now. Brick is going to be injured for another 9 days. We'll see if we want to wait for him or not. He is going to get a point here, but we really don't want to do that while injured, last I knew. Maybe that's been changed at some point, but last I knew, when mech warriors are injured, you really don't want to actually train them, because that can cause significant issues. So let's see here. We're on Klisk now, and what do you pilot? The Trebuchet? Okay. In that case, we should absolutely go for Bandit here for those clustering roll modifiers. There we go. So that'll be fine. We've also got Magus, Plato, Romeo, and Weasel Cakes, but none of them actually need any upgrades. So let's continue to tick forward for our repairs. We'll get those finished up relatively quickly here. Okay.
Hey, boss.
Work on Argo module training, or Argo upgrade. Training module 2 is now complete. Brick will be back in 1 day at this point. I think we go ahead and we tick forward, but we should, before we do that, grab an engineering upgrade. And what engineering upgrade do we want? Well, I mean, drop information, that's the pre-mission terrain map. And then this would be making Darius's intel more accurate? Maybe? That's an expensive one. Wow. Okay. This is really cheap, but that's really expensive. I kind of want to reduce our upkeep. Let's grab that for now. We're making good progress on our ship upgrades. No doubt about that. Let's tick forward that 1 day to get Brick back. And apparently we're investing in our people. Okay. So there's a mech tech conference, a seminar, and several medbay tech courses. What do we feel like we are lowest on right now? Well, star system research, I think, is not all that impactful at this moment. I think that right now, we kind of don't need anything. I'm not going to send anybody. Everybody's sad about that, of course, but that's okay. I feel like we don't need any mech tech or medical point upgrades right now other than what we'd get out of engineering. Seems okay. So at this point, we are ready to deploy. Let's hop into the command center and see what we've got available here. This is, let's see, we have quite a lot of cash on hand. So we're interested in getting salvage then. Oh, this is still that attack and defend. Okay, yeah, I still don't think we should do attack and defend. Not yet. There's just so many units that throws at you. I think it's a bad idea. At this point, I'm leaning towards maybe this ambush convoy mission. Newly manufactured Steiner mechs. We do have high Steiner opinion right now. This will boost our Word of Blake opinion a little bit. I think it's Comstar that we are pretty high with right now. Yes. How are we doing with our Merrick reputation? Who are we low with? Seems like we were low with somebody. It was not Word of Blake. You know what? We can go into our captain's quarters and look at our reputations. So, let's see here. Comstar is currently disliking us at -21. Okay, that is maybe a little spooky. So we can hop back into, it probably doesn't matter, to be honest. We can hop back into the command center here, and Comstar would be who we would want to make friends with, if we wanted to boost them. We don't have any Comstar missions available. So we're probably just going to end up running perhaps this mission here. Ambush convoy or battle. This has a lance tonnage maximum. What is the lance tonnage maximum? 400 tons? And it's in the urban environment. Urban environment is not my favorite. So I think we're going to go for this ambush convoy. And maybe we run this for full salvage. Yeah, let's do it. So let's just deploy this pretty much exactly as is. That should be fine. And yes, the Black Knight is underweight. Darius thinks it'll be hard. He may or may not be right. We are going to confirm this, though. And I will see you guys after the loading screen. Okay, so here we are all loaded up. And I heard a helicopter on the way in. So there's clearly some sort of a helicopter. And we'll see what this ends up looking like. Our goal is to track down the convoy, so we scout out the target area. Yeah. So looks like the destination is going to be this up over here. And this is the scout point. Okay. So they're going to be coming down this road, almost certainly. We could spawn somewhere over here in this cover and look to engage them out this direction. I feel like that's reasonably fine. Let's see what we've got against us. Okay. I saw 2 heavy bombers up over here. So there was an Ifrit here. There was another one here that disappeared. It might be some sort of a stealth craft. Perhaps a Seth or something like that. That's a Shiv up over that way. The convoy is mechs here. That's interesting. And we do see the Word of Blake units that have spawned over here. They'll be in a pretty good position to fight these guys as well. So let's move our Centaur up over this direction.
Ready to run.
Yeah, so that's a Seth Stealth Beetle. I mean, it's not all that armored if we can hit it. That's a pretty big if. So Ifrit moves up. And it positions right here. The Assassin is moving up as well, obviously. Shiv is moving in over this way. Okay. And that's a Gallant. Okay. Gallant? Probably Gallant. And we are going to move our Hoplite up over here. Well, really, yeah, right here. I want to be in position to be able to attack their stealth bombers. So we'll just brace the Hoplite for now. 2 stealth bombers is going to be kind of grim. We'll see how effective we are at hitting them. How much does this Ifrit have? And that Seth. Oh, wait. The Seth is moving out to engage the Word of Blake forces. This is a good thing. I like that a lot. So the Grasshopper is going to sprint forward as much as it can, which isn't going to be all that much. We absolutely need to start shooting down some of these stealth bombers immediately. The Trebuchet is going to move up over here and is going to brace for now. That might be a pretty high priority target for a stealth bomber. We'll see. The Shadowhawk is going to move up somewhere over here.
Roger that.
Yep, that'll do. That also might be a bomber target, heavy bomber target. So we'll see. I would love to capture an Ifrit or a stealth. Both of these would be amazing to have our hands on. For right now, we just got to shoot him down. The Black Knight can position up over here. That'll be fine for now. It's not in cover, and it's kind of bait at this point. We'll see what the Ifrit in particular starts to do. I think that the stealth is engaging the Comstar, or rather, the Word of Blake forces. I apologize, Presenter. Okay, we are going to move over to here with the Rifleman and brace. That'll be fine. The Rifleman will probably be shooting at the Ifrit. These are such high priority, and these mechs are going to be moving down the road. I'm just wondering how quickly we can eliminate these heavy bombers. Crossbow's going to position here and brace. Okay. So phase 14, we still do see a number of Comstar units moving, including that Hunchback. Okay, that's a Hollander 2, a Kentaro, a Hunchback, and this was what, an Assassin? Yeah, that's an Assassin. So we need to be going after this with our Centaur. We can't allow them to get to the escape point. Everyone else, pretty much, needs to be going after the heavy bombers, starting with the Ifrit. Okay, that was a breaching shot into that allied Griffin. That's reasonably fine. We don't mind that. Phase 23 is going to be someone, but we don't know who. Probably this Shiv, if I had to guess. Yeah, it's definitely the Shiv. So the Shiv moves up. And what's it going to do? Firing on our Grasshopper? Okay. As I said, the Grasshopper's kind of bait right now. So that's okay for the moment. What's the evasive on that ship? 11. So that'll be hard to hit. Next up is our Centaur. And the Centaur really does want to get up into rear arc up over here. 8 evasive is better than 7 evasive. But can we melee this? Apparently not. Okay. So we'll take the 8 evasive, and I'm going to position behind this assassin. We are going to look to eliminate this assassin. It should die to this shot. And there it goes. Fantastic. Everyone else needs to be focused on the heavy bombers. I'm hoping that the Word of Blake units will determine that as well. Next up is this Ifrit, and I expect it to move in and attack our Grasshopper, since that was who was attacked by the Shiv and is already somewhat weakened. We'll see where it goes. There's also some clusters of units back here it could go for, depending on its exact armament. Huh. It's going to go for our... No one at all? I thought it was going to go for our Centaur there. It went for no one at all. So next up is going to be this Seth. I want to see that engaging the Word of Blake units. That would be ideal. And then we can focus on the Ifrit and then turn our eyes on the Seth. And of course, we can use our Centaur to take out the convoy. We should be able to backstab that all quite quickly, in theory. Ooh, where's that thing going? It's stealthed up over here. I feel like it can't really shoot at anything from there. We can't shoot at the Seth from there either, obviously. But what we can do is we can position our Trebuchet here and fire at that Ifrit. Hit odds are not fantastic, but side arc is better than front arc.
Got it.
And we'll start working on the AMS on this Ifrit. It managed to shoot down 23 of those missiles. Yikes. So the Griffin moves up, fires on the Kintaro side arc. Also triggering some AMS there. The Hollander moves up. That could potentially hurt, but it doesn't fire. They're not very interested in shooting at us, it seems. I like that. This is a good thing. So now these Word of Blake units, they're going to move 2 of them. Firing on this Hollander. Also triggering that AMS. They've got a lot of AMS. No doubt about that. So next up is going to be this Firestarter. I'd like to see that move up to around here. I don't know if it can reach there, but up to around there and then rear arc attack over here. Instead, it decided to lob some missiles at this Shiv. Okay, so it's an LRM variant. I don't like that on a Firestarter. But it did miss every single one of those Shiv missiles. So this Hunchback moves up and chooses to not fire.
Yes, Commander.
I love this. This is phenomenal. We are going to move up with our Shadowhawk here, positioning here. And I really want to hit this Ifrit. I want to shoot it down, but we've only got a low chance of this, right? Low hit odds. We need to start weakening it, and we need to fire our MRMs to start draining his AMS, which is apparently highly effective. 20 from 20 hit by AMS by that Ifrit. So that thing has a really good AMS. Wouldn't mind getting my hands on that, to be honest. We'll see some Word of Blake movements here. We don't expect too much from these, to be honest. No damage to that Kintaro. Okay, so next up is going to be our Grasshopper. The Grasshopper, what is in this Shiv? Okay, they do have a missile weapon, so that is noted. I didn't actually want to move there. I'm concerned about stray-shotting the Shadowhawk with our AC-20. Surely with us shooting upwards, that's not going to happen, right? Okay, it didn't happen. We didn't hit the Ifrit with the AC-20. If we had, that would have been extraordinarily good.
Waiting for orders.
Next up is the Black Knight. The Black Knight is going to move up over here, and we're going to continue to shoot at this Ifrit side arc. It is weakening. Not a good shot. But we had 30% hit odds. This thing moves so fast, but it's also so threatening. We need to eliminate it. So next up is going to be a Word of Blake unit. That is going to be this Hunter. Okay. I'd like to see that fire like rear arc on this Hollander, perhaps. Soften that up a little bit. Okay, on the Hunchback. That works. So a little bit of rear arc softening on that Hunchy. Not a whole lot, but actually that all hit the CT, which is pretty good.
Commander.
So next up is our Hoplite. The Hoplite can fire directly on this Ifrit, and we're going to fire the Thumper Artillery in flak mode. We only have 30% hit odds here. Ooh, okay. I'm going to move us out to the side here because I don't want to stray shot the rear arc of our rifleman. Yes, that does reduce our hit odds, but that is understood.
Roger that.
Okay. We did manage to get some hits in there, and we seem to have overwhelmed the Ifrit's AMS just in time for the crossbow to move, which is phenomenal. Note that that AMS did not fire there. So that's very, very good. This Ifrit is very close to being shot down without being able to use its thumper cannon or its bombs or its missile weapons. So this Hunchback is going to fire a rear arc on their Hunchback. That's a really solid shot, actually. Structure exposure there. Next up is our crossbow, which is going to move up to here. We're going to fire on the Ifrit with SAM missiles. I do expect the Ifrit to die here unless we have very bad luck. Yes. Okay. So the Ifrit is shot down. That is a big part of their damage output, but they've still got that Seth. We cannot see the Seth right now. I'm going to position our riflemen about here and checking hit odds on these. Okay. It's really very mediocre on all of them. I think we'll fire on this Shiv. Hit odds are quite low on everybody, but I'd like to have this Shiv eliminated. We did hit one PPC there, so that's not bad. What was that, a front arc hit? Looked like one. That Kintaro was moving up and firing on our Grasshopper. Okay. A side arc. Kintaros do have a pretty big punch, but they also have a heat problem.
Damage.
0 from 56 hit by AMS. Okay. Yeah, so that Kintaro hurt. No doubt about that. I'd like to get into rear arc of the Kintaro with our Centaur and eliminate that. This is going to be the Seth. Watch it. Actually, that's not the Seth. Watch the Seth go for the Grasshopper in that weakened arc, though. That could theoretically do a lot to our Grasshopper, maybe even outright destroying it.
I've got your back.
Depending on what the Seth is packing. We need to get into rear arc of this Kintaro, and we're going to do exactly that. We can see the Seth right there now, and we're going to hit the Kintaro's rear arc and hope for the one shot here.
Triggering an alpha strike.
And we got it.
Follow my lead.
Excellent. We just detected enemy reinforcements. Okay, where are these at? Wow, that's quite the frame rate. Okay, that's because it's calculating this next move. Apparently the reinforcements are out by the denial zone. So that's not a big concern for the moment. We'll make our way back over here. The question is, what is this Seth going to do? I would love to see it engaging the Word of Blake forces. The Shiv is moving up and probably also going to focus... Oh, it's going for the Scorpion. I like it. It fired its missile there. Was that a one-shot weapon? I believe it was. The Seth gets to move now, and this is the danger zone. Yes, that was a one-shot weapon. So if the Seth... The dangerous thing for us is the Seth moves about here and goes for our Grasshopper. We'll see what it chooses to do, but that would not be good. What you got, Seth? I would love to see you attack like this Hunter, or this Griffin, or even this Scorpion. Okay. Attacking no one works too. It's an odd choice. Not a choice that I agree with, but I like the choice. I'm very, very, very happy that it made that choice. So now we're going to start focusing on the Seth. Now the Seth is, I believe, a little bit better armored than that Ifrit was. Indeed. So that's going to be slightly concerning. I would like to move our riflemen into the water here for heat purposes. And 32.1% versus 2.6% on the Seth. I think we take the rear arc attack on the Shiv.
Firing all weapons.
But it's not great. Okay, I think we stray shotted our friend a bit there. No, I don't think we did, actually. No, we're good. Fantastic. So next up, the Shadowhawk. I would like the Shadowhawk to move on this Hollander too and get into its rear arc. I would like to kick it, and we have really good hit odds here. So I'd like to just eliminate this Hollander. Get it out of here.
On the move.
It should die to this.
Engaging.
Oh, we missed our kick on 95% odds? Oh, that's bad. Okay, so at this point, the Shadowhawk is very vulnerable to the Seth. That was extraordinarily bad.
Solid connection, that one.
Almost unspeakably bad. 95% miss. I like it. Okay, so the Griffin is jumping and firing on the Shiv. I'd like to see that thing get shot down, but it didn't happen. Okay, next up is going to be our hoplite. I'm going to move the hoplite up over this direction,
Copy that.
and we're going to absolutely fire on the stealth here. I'm not going to fire the ER medium laser, but everything else.
Confirmed.
Sadly, we completely missed with the flak gun.
I'm showing minor damage.
A complete and total miss there. But we did a little bit of damage into the VTOL with our missiles. So that's okay. Next up is going to be this Hunchback, and we'll see what it decides to do. Going for the rear arc of our Shadowhawk would make sense now that we have no evasive there. But the Scorpion is going to move first, and it fires on that Shiv. It gets very little done, presumably primarily due to range. The Hunchback moves ahead and doesn't fire, so it's prioritizing evacing. And at this point, I'm going to put the Grasshopper up over here. And we can fire on the Shiv or on the Stealth. And honestly, hit odds are so much better on the Shiv. The Stealth is very hard for us to hit. So I'm going to go for the Shiv here, and we're going to look to eliminate it. It should die here. Or we could miss literally everything. That thing doesn't have much armor left, but we missed every shot. Next up is our crossbow, and the crossbow is going to step slightly forward here. We really do need to be firing at this stealth, but these hit odds are just so bad. We gotta fire at the Shiv. We'll take it down here, for sure. So it's gone. The next question is, when do they start using that Seth? It's pretty untouched after this round. We're just not really able to hit it from here. So that's definitely looking a bit grim. We are going to be eliminating their Hollander and Hunchback pretty quickly here. So the Hunter moves up and is firing rear arc on this Hollander. It does get one missile in there and destroys a medium laser. But that's not a fantastic shot, to be honest. Let's move our Trebuchet up over here, and I'm going to say the odds don't matter here. I'm going to fire on this regardless because I want to trigger its AMS. We did get one hit in there, but it did shoot down 15 of those missiles. But triggering the AMS is a win in and of itself right now. We are lessening the defenses of the stealth. So that looks good for now. Next up is our Black Knight, and the Black Knight can position up over here. We can fire on either of these and have good hit odds, but honestly, we don't need to. Both of these will die quite soon, and we can just start working on this Seth. Unfortunately, in our current position, we may stray shot our friend here, but I'm still going to take it. We hit none of those. Unfortunate. 30% hit odds. I would have expected to hit at least one. The good news is I don't think we stray shot. Yeah, we did not stray shot. So that is good. The Hunchback 5J is going to fire rear arc on this Hollander, and it gets some damage in there. Okay. Next up is our Centaur, and the Centaur is going to position here.
Affirmative.
Now, that does give us eyes on what's up over here. A Chameleon, a Sentinel, and a Whitworth. Okay, that's not anything too scary. I think at this point we hit this hunchback and eliminate it.
Right.
It should die to this. And there it goes. Fantastic. So 1 dead hunchback.
What a waste.
And now I believe that Seth is going to move. So actually that's phase 19. It does get to attack the Shadowhawk though, and it's probably going to go for the rear arc attack on this Shadowhawk. So we might be saying goodbye to the Shadowhawk. The Seth is very dangerous. But if it does move into that position, we'll be in a better spot to attack it. So there is that. I would really like to see it come out and attack the Word of Blake forces. But I don't think it's going to. If I was it in this situation, I would absolutely move like up over here and go for the Shadowhawk. We'll see what it does. We're in the danger zone now. So... So far, it's not been so bad, the danger zone, but it could go bad very quickly. It moved up over this way and exited our sensors.
Orders.
That is in the category of not so bad. I'm going to put the hoplite up on this hill,
Out.
and we're going to fire artillery over at this sentinel in artillery mode. We don't have sensors, right? So we might as well fire artillery out over here where it'll do a little bit of damage. I would love to fire that artillery in flak mode at the at that Seth, but we don't have sensors on it right now. And we're not going to get sensors on it for a bit, I think. So the question then becomes, how much damage are they actually going to do to the hoplite here? I doubt that they're going to do very much, to be honest. Cyclone is moving up and does not fire. Okay, next up would be our riflemen. Can we get into rear arc here? Not quite. Okay, we'll just position in this side arc for now. We're in the water, so we shouldn't generate heat. And we'll just take a pot shot at this Hollander. I don't expect the Hollander to survive another Shadowhawk attack, but we'll get some damage into the Hollander. There we go, softening up that flank a little bit. Not that it needs it. I don't know what we're going to do about that Seth, though. Maybe we just run away. And hope that it doesn't get an opportunity to shoot at us. I'm not sure where our evac point is going to be. So that's an interesting question. Ooh, this could kill the Hollander. That's a Gauss rifle explosion, taking out that torso, and a pilot ejection. Evac zone is here. We know the Seth is up over this way. But that means that we don't need to eliminate these units. And we kind of don't want to, I feel like. I'm going to take the Shadowhawk up over this direction. We're going to position it right here in side arc of this Gallant. And we're going to fire into its side arc. It has a lot of armor. But we're going to see what we can get done there. We got a little bit done anyway. Okay, so we still don't see the Seth. It must be up over here. That stealth is going to be awkward to get through. No doubt about that. It is, however, about time to put a cut in. So the question is, when can we do that? Well, we'll just wait until our next round, which will be in phase 13 here. So they'll have a phase 14 mover. That'll be somebody up over here. Yeah, that's that Whitworth. Just kind of running away. I don't think we're going to engage those guys. I think we're going to head for the evac zone. We know that the Seth is out in this direction as well. But it is our turn to move now, so I'm going to go ahead and put that cut in here. And next episode, we're going to see what ends up happening with that Seth. If we can get out of here without it actually doing huge amounts of damage, that would be amazing. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.